Hello, hello. I am back to help you do this thing called life. So, of course, I've been praying for you, and I want you to continue to pray for me. And of course, I do. I know exactly what I'm supposed to talk to you about this morning. Even before I got out of bed, I was just kind of meditating and thinking about that awesome, powerful word that God gave us yesterday. And if you did not get a chance to take a look at yesterday's video, I highly encourage you to go back and take a look at it. On Instagram, it ended up being in two parts. So check out part one and part two. On Facebook and YouTube, it's the one video. But I truly encourage you to check it out. God said to us that yesterday completed a stage and a phase of our lives, and that today we're stepping into newness. He followed it up by encouraging beforehand that it is based on faith. He asked the question, how do we know that we're saved? And honestly, we know that we're saved by faith. Um, Actually, by grace through faith. That's how we know that we're saved. He said, apply the same thing. Oh, which took it to another place just now. So yes, the word says that we are saved by grace through faith. And if God asked that question, how do I know that I'm saved? Throat making all kind of noises. Sorry. He asked, how do I know I'm saved? And that's the answer. Then he said, apply that to this, which is going to be another point that I need to write down in just a minute. To talk to you about. I don't want to forget it. So we need to receive this change that we have stepped into today. As the clock struck midnight, wherever you are, and we moved over into March 22nd, then we stepped into newness. I don't know what my throat is doing, y'all. It is really trying to talk for me. But we stepped into newness, right? Received that by faith. This morning, he just kept really talking to me about this is a faith thing. It's not based on feelings. It's not based on feelings. And so I thought about if any of you have ever been pregnant or had a wife or a girlfriend that was pregnant. Once you got that pregnancy test that said positive, you knew that was it. And especially if you went to the doctor and it was confirmed with a blood test or whatever, then you knew it was a done deal. There wasn't any questioning. Especially if you went to the doctor, there was no questioning. Whether you wanted to receive it or not, you accepted it as a done deal, right? Same thing here. We have to believe that today began this next leg of our journey. We have to stand on that. And it is not based on feelings. Let's go back to the pregnant woman. Everybody, now some people have morning sickness. Everybody does not have morning sickness. Some people might still spot a little bit. Some people, but they still know, okay, I'm pregnant. Don't let what you're not feeling make you think you have not stepped into what God said. Believe it. Receive it by faith. And so when I started thinking about that, by grace through faith, okay, the faith part we know, base it on faith, not feelings, but grace brings in a whole different, it brings in a whole different thing, because that grace factor, that grace is unmerited favor, and it is also the power to do. And so what God was talking to me about yesterday morning too, that I didn't get into at that point. But he said, and this is something that he said earlier in the week, last week, we keep disqualifying ourselves and discrediting ourselves based on what we know about us, based on our history, based on the data that we have regarding us, regarding our past. We keep looking at our past. We keep looking at our present. We keep looking at our families. We keep looking at stuff that when you compare that to our great big God, what you talking about? But we keep fact checking ourselves. You need to fact check God. Check the truth about God. Has he ever failed? Is there anything too hard for him? Tell me this, if he has declared something over your life, who are you to then say that he's wrong? Huh? How you know better than God? This is the person that has the plan for your life. This is the one who makes the decisions. How he said approved. He has stamped approved on you to go to the next phase. How you going to stay back there because you looking at what you know about you? Can you get the focus off you and look at what you know about God and just trust that he knows what he's doing? Trust that he knows what he's doing. I look at it like this too. Every tree that you see started as a seed. It started as a seed. It didn't start as the tree. It started as a seed. So just like with the baby, you could not see it when they told you were pregnant. Okay, maybe some of y'all waited till later and went and found out at the last minute. But, for most people, they kind of know early on. Maybe no outward evidence. Same thing with a tree. I can go out there and plant a seed for a tree covered up and you'll never even know it's there until that thing starts showing. So what I want you to know is it's already done. You just got to come in agreement with God. Walk this thing out. Don't stay paralyzed. Don't stay seated. Don't base it on what you feel. Okay? Let's base it on faith. Faith over feelings. I know we've been talking about faith over fear for like a year with COVID. I said faith over feelings. It's not about what you feel. It's about what you faith. Come into agreement with what God has said about you, because he has so many great things in store for you. He has so much that he has predestined for your life. And so what I want you to do is stop making you bigger than God. Stop making what you know about you bigger than the word God has placed over your life. Because if you're watching this, out of all the millions and billions or however many people there are in the world, if you're watching this, then I believe that this word is for you. And so, like I said, if you didn't get a chance to see yesterday's, for me, it was life-changing. The word that God spoke over us was life-changing. And I'm walking in it. I'm walking in it. And if you don't see what God said about me yet, just hold on. It gets better. And you need to know the same thing about you. Don't judge your story by your current condition, because God has placed you in position. And when I tell you, you about to get the glow up, it is going to glow up and blow up. Expect God in ways you never have before. There's nothing too hard for him, including you and your situation. There's nothing he can't do. Okay? Well, y'all, this has been One Momentum with Marcy. I'll be back tomorrow with another moment of momentum-producing motivation. Until then, stay encouraged. And remember, you gotta flutter before you can fly. But flying is in your future. I love y'all.